हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhamachatra's Friday Bhagavad class. This is our weekly Bhagavad class. We'll be doing our today's verse 4.30. But before starting our verse, we'll just like to sing an Jai Radha Madhav for the Lord's pleasure. Let's sing Jai Radha Madhav. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ श्री राधे जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ श्री राधे जय राधा नील माधव राधा नील माधव श्री राधे जय लड्डू गोपाल जय लड्डू गोपाल जय लड्डू गोपाल जय लड्डू गोपाल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भगवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्णकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः मूकं करोतु वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातहमं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणम् ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः हरे कृष्ण Today, we are on, let me just share my screen first. Can anyone tell my screen is visible?
Yes.
yes Prabhu it is
Yes.
Hare
visible
Krishna. So today we are actually on verse number 4.30, 430. So, I mean, just one-liner recap up to here. What happened is we are actually we started a few weeks back our chapter 4, which is a Jnana Yoga. So Lord actually talks about transcendental knowledge about himself. That's Krishna from verse 1 to 15, and then from 16 to 24 onwards, he talks about the Niskam Karma Yogi. What are the action of actually the Niskam Karma Yogi, and then on 25 onwards, the Lord talks here about the sacrifice and the jnana. So we are up to here 4:30 now. And let me just recite the verse first, and then we can just, I'll request devotees to recite the verses after that. सर्वे प्रेते यज्ञविदो यज्ञ क्षेपी तप तकल्मषा यज्ञ शिष्टामृत भुजो yanti brahma sanatanam. Can I request one Mataji and one Prabhuji to recite the verse?
सर्वे
सर्वे हि
पेत
अपि
sorry, yes Prabhu, you continue.
सर्वे हि अप्येतयज्ञविदो यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषः यज्ञशिष्टामृता भुजो यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनम्।
Mataji.
सर्वेप्यते यज्ञविदो यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषा यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजो यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनम्.
Thank you, Mataji, and thank you, Prabhuji. Let's go to synonyms. Survey, all, api, although apparently differently, eta, these, yagna bida, conversant with the purpose of performing sacrifices, yagna kalpita, being cleansed as the result of such performances. Kalmasa, of sinful reactions. Yagna Sista, of the result of such performance of yagna. Amrata Bhuja, those who have tasted such nectar. Yanti, do approach. Brahma, the supreme. Sanatanam, eternal atmosphere. Let's hear the translation. All these performers who know the meaning of sacrifice become cleansed of sinful reactions, and having tasted the nectar of the results of sacrifices, they advance towards the supreme eternal atmosphere. Now I'll just read the purport. Let's hear. This purport is written by His Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj ki jai. Let's hear the purport. From the forgiving explanation of different type of sacrifices, namely sacrifice of one's possessions, study of the Vedas or philosophical doctrines, and performance of the yoga system, it is found that the common aim of all is to control the senses. Sense gratification is the root cause of material existence. Therefore, unless and until one is situated on a platform apart from the sense gratification, there is no chance of being elevated to the eternal platform of full knowledge, full bliss, and full life. This platform is in the eternal atmosphere or Brahman atmosphere. All the above mentioned sacrifice help one to become cleansed of the sinful reactions of material existence. By this advancement in life, not only does one become happy and opulent in this life, but also at the end he enters into the eternal kingdom of God, either merging into the impersonal Brahman or associating with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. Let's do the Mangalacharan and then we'll just, talk about the purport here. We all can recite together. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshuruन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayan Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Tapadakamalam Sri Gunam Vaishnavamsa Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Visakham Pitamsa हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna once again. So what we are talking about here is just getting the reference again back. So from 425 onwards, the Lord here is talking about different kind of sacrifices. What a normal person to a very elevated soul, how they perform these yagnas. So the Lord is describing different types of yagnas here. If we just see it in this particular one, what Lord here is talking about is the different varieties of the yagnas. What categories of people does which type of yagnas? Some, I mean, if we just refer to back to our verse from 625. So what it says is there are a kind of categories of yogis who performs actually who perfectly worship the demigods by offering different sacrifices to them, and some actually sacrifice to the fire to the Supreme Brahman. That's one category the Lord is explaining here. And the other kind of people who actually do what kind of sacrifice they do, it is written there that sacrifice by hearing the process and sense in the fire of mental control. That's another type categories of the people who does the yagnas, and some does the sacrifice of the objects to the sense in the fire of the senses. So these are the categories of people. So some we can it is explained in the verses that some do the actually some achieve this self-realization through the control of the mind and the senses. So these are different kind of there are many more on the verses that are described, but these are the different kind of sacrifices what yogis do to get to perform these yagnas. But what in the purport, if we just read it again, what it is pretty much explaining is that what is the aim of those sacrifices here? What any kind of sacrifice we do, this is to control the senses and the mind, ultimately which will actually purify our heart. This is pretty much the focus here. Then when we can see it here that we take, for example, we take a lot of fasting here, right? I mean, we also do, but we can see there are so many kind of people, so many kind of some worship demigods, some people, some are Vaishnavas, some worship Shiva, some worship demigods. But they also do the fasting. We also do the fasting. But the difference in the fasting is when we are doing the fasting on such occasions, what they do is it helps purify our heart. But is it really helping to purify our heart? That is the question. For example, when we do fasting, what happens? We just maybe we feel sometimes we feel hungry. When we feel hungry, immediately okay, today is Ekadasi, or today is Janmashtami is coming, Balaram Jayanti is coming. So we immediately remember the Lord, whether from the heart, at least we remember the name, right? Even whether we really feel the God or not, but definitely remember the name. The name itself is none other than the God himself. So what it means is when we do the fasting, by any means we remember the God. But at the same time, if we just do the fast for some demigods, we immediately remember the demigods, not the actual supreme Lord. So that means we are not actually fully actually, we are just doing pretty much, if we are not doing the fasting for the Lord Krishna, we are doing the formalities and really not doing devotion with bhava. Correct. So that's pretty much what I got from this verse. And so, like at the end of the day, when you do fasting or any kind of yagnas, there are different kind of yagnas. I just touch upon the fasting only here. So when we do yagnas, the main idea is to get actually just to get the get away from the attachment or just to satisfy the Lord, right? It's exactly like the uh, let's get the material example here. So what happens here is, for example, I just get ready to go somewhere. Let's say I have a Sunday morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. Gopal Prabhuji have last week requested everyone to come. So we just get ready. Everyone get ready. There is a big rain coming, and I just somehow just uh, actually slip somewhere in and get in the mud, right? My whole clothes, whatever I have, put tilak and everything, it just got wasted. I just got muddy over there. So now what happened there is I got the influence of the mud, right, or the dirt. So maybe I can go, but I'm already the influence of the mud. I cannot go there because I want to clean myself and then go, right? So exactly like that. So when we have influence of Maya, whatever we have here, we cannot go to our destination. Like my destination was to go to Srimad Bhagavatam class in the morning, but I'm not able to go to Srimad Bhagavatam class because I'm the influence of the mud. Similarly, as we have the we if we have the influence of the Maya or the whatever the material existence we are talking about here, then we definitely cannot go. This is a likewise analogy given by the acharyas. So we have to do something like I have to go. If I have to go to Srimad Bhagavatam class, even after half an hour late or 1 hour late, what I need to do, I need to just quickly change my clothes and I just get another clothes or clean that clothes or put on a dryer or whatever I do. I get rid of the mud, get rid of dirt, and go. Similarly, like we do something that we can get rid of the Maya that we have in the samsara and then go back to our original home. That's pretty much the analogy. So to achieve this kind of liberation, there are a lot of categories, and the yagnas defined in the Vedas, and the Lord actually speak himself from verse 4.25 onwards. But the important point here is what Lord tell to Arjuna, right? Arjuna is a bhakta here. So what it tells, what we know the verse, right? Yoginam pisarvesam madbhakte nantaratmana श्रद्धावान भजते यो माम समय युक्त मतो मम. So what Lord is telling is out of all the, I mean, whatever the sacrifice you do, out of all the yogis, the one who with the great faith, who also who also abides in me, thinks of me within himself and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. The Lord says in 6.47 that who is the out of those whoever performs the sacrifices and the yagnas, who is on the top is the bhakta. So who always put his thought on Lord Krishna. He is nearest and dearest to me. That is his opinion that Lord himself says. So the conclusion here, what we can see is bhakti, right? So we always consume our mind, our thought always in the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So we do bhakti, but excuse me. So what we have to do in bhakti and why, right? So the first thing what bhakti will bring here is it will cleanse our heart. When we do the bhakti, it will cleanse our heart and we become we actually come in the direct contact of Bhagavan. We don't need to, rather just, touching my nose, like just touching like this, I can directly touch the nose. There are different yagnas, how we can just achieve, we can just, find and get the God. The simple process is bhakti that is defined in Bhagavad Gita and spoken by Lord himself. And there is no requirement to, in like other yogis, how they do is they actually control their man and control their senses, right? So in bhakti we don't need to control our man and senses. What I mean by this, why we don't, I'm not saying that we do whatever we like. What I'm saying by this is yogis control their senses to keep their mind focused on the God, simply, right? So but what our acharyas has clearly defined is that if we keep our मन and senses in our in the service of Lord, that is Krishna, our मन and sense will automatically get controlled. So yogis are actually controlling their senses and mind to actually think about God. But what God here is saying is, directly think about me. You don't need to control the senses. It will do automatically, right? So the aim here is to get our heart cleansed and get the senses in control. So whatever the yagnas we do. So let's think this in a very materialistic way as well, right? If we come to bhakti, what will happen? Our heart will get cleansed every day. I mean, every day in the sense, yes, every day in the morning, I can see Radha Mataji here as well. So we just chant Maha Mantra 4 rounds in the morning, right? So that's one kind of service we do. That's a one kind of engagement we do in the morning. Then we come to Bhagavad Gita class every Friday. That's another kind. And we come to Srimad Bhagavatam class every morning. I mean Sunday morning. So in this way, what we are actually doing is we are cleansing our heart by hearing the 9 step how Prahlad Maharaj actually explained what is the process of bhakti. So just hearing, we don't know anything, even we are side talking, maybe not side talking on WhatsApp always or our Instagram, whatever it is, but still we hear the Lord's name. That is actually reaching to our heart and cleansing our heart. So if we just, I mean, in a materialistic way I'm talking about, if we just do that, what happens? We save this money in a very different way, right? So if we just go there, we are not unnecessarily spending money on unnecessary things. We had a very healthy lifestyle. We are not drinking this, eating that, eating all, one is uneatable food, but at the same time, there are unhealthy foods as well, right? From the health perspective as well. So we have less visits to doctor. So we definitely saving the money there, and at the same time we also don't entangle with the unnecessary things, fight this and that kind of thing, so that actually saves bills from the our lawyer as well, right? So pretty much फायदा ही फायदा है यार, तो हर तरह से. And at the same time, I mean, we are actually we are trying to build a temple here in Sydney as well. So this money, rather than where should I get the money and just invest in that, instead of cutting the corners, जो यहाँ फायदा हुआ पैसा है, whatever we are get there, we can simply donate it. अगर वहां से, then we'll just actually get more survey, more mercy actually. That's what I can think. And we can, and like we just say man changa to har changa, man changa to tan changa, man changa to sab, man changa to sab changa, tan changa to sab changa, right? So every morning if we make our man changa, everything we just feel positive, think good on this one. Maybe I'll just move to the next verse. This verse 431 and 432 are interconnected. Maybe I'll just we'll read both at the same time. This verse finish, and I will continue the other one. Then we'll just come back to discussion on the purport. Nayam lokos yajnasya kuntoya kurusattama. Can I request one Prabhuji to repeat this verse?
नायं लोकोऽस्ति अजन्यस्य कुतो अन्यस्य कुरुस्तमा.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I'll get Mataji to read the next verse, but let's go through the synonym translation property. Yeah, na, never. I am this. lokah, planet, asti, there is. Agyanasta, for one who performs no sacrifice. Kuthaha, where is. Anya, the other. Kuru Sattama, O best among the Kurus. Translation, please here. O best of the Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice, one can never live happily on this planet or in this life. What then of the next? Purport, please here. The purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Sri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj ki jai. Whatever form of material existence one is in, one is invariably ignorant of his real situation. In other words, existence in the material world is due to the multiple reactions to our sinful lives. Ignorance is the cause of sinful life, and sinful life is the cause of one's dragging on in material existence. The human form of life is the only loophole by which one may get out of this entanglement. The Vedas, therefore, give us a chance for escape by pointing out the paths of religion, economic comfort, regulated sense, gratification, and, at last, the means to get out of the miserable condition entirely. The path of religion, or the different kinds of sacrifice recommended above, automatically solves our economic problems. By performance of yagna, we can have enough food, enough milk, etc. Even if there is so-called increase in a population. When the body is fully supplied, naturally the next stage is to satisfy the senses. The Vedas prescribe, therefore, scared marriage for regulated sense gratification. Thereby, one is gradually elevated to the platform of release from material bondage, and the highest perfection of liberated life is to associate with the Supreme Lord. Perfection is achieved by performance of yagna, that is sacrifice, as described above. Now, if a person is not inclined to perform yagna according to the Vedas, how can he expect a happy life even in this body, and what to speak of another body on another planet? There are different grades of material comforts in different heavenly planets, and in all cases, there is immense happiness for persons engaged in different kinds of yagna. But the highest kind of happiness that a man can achieve in to be promoted to the spiritual planets by practice of Krishna consciousness. A life of Krishna consciousness is therefore the solution to all the problems of material existence. Hare Krishna. We'll continue verse 32 as well because they are connected, and then we'll come back on this one. एवं बहुविधा यज्ञा वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे कर्मजान विदितान सर्वान नेवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे. Can I request Mataji to recite the verse?
एवं बहुविद्या यज्ञा वितता ब्राह्मणो मुखे कर्मजन् विदितं सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. And let's hear the synonym of the translation first. Evam, thus, Bahubida, various kinds of yagya, sacrifices, bitata, are spread, brahmana of the Vedas, mukhe, through the mouth, karmajan, born of work, vidhi, you should know, tan, them, sarvan, all, evam, thus, thus, janatva, knowing, vimokshese, gyatva, knowing, vimokshese, you will be liberated. Translation: all these different type of sacrifice are approved by the Vedas, and all of them are born of different type of work. Knowing them as such, you will become liberated. Let's hear purport by His loving A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj ki jai. Different type of sacrifice, as discussed above, are mentioned in the Vedas to suit the different type of workers. Because men are so deeply absorbed in the bodily concept, these sacrifices are so arranged that one can work either with the body, with the mind, or with the intelligence. But all of them are recommended for ultimately bringing about liberation from the body. This is confirmed by the Lord herewith from his own mouth. So, in the last these two verses, Lord is telling here that without yajna, if we just go back to the verse 431. So, what Lord here is saying is, without yajna, one cannot get happiness. Then now, how it can gain happiness to the next life means if we are without having yajna, we are not getting the happiness on this life, and there is no way, there is no chance that we can get happiness on next life. How it can be possible? Bhagwan explains here about the different process of yoga, right? This is a continuation from actually all the different kinds of yogas, and those yagnas are guided by Vedas. Whatever the yagnas we do, it's not they are all guided by Vedas and Shastras only. Not that whatever comes in our head or it's like a typical kamakandi. You just do it here, like it will happen like this. It is not like that. They are not just from whatever a normal person or ordinary person just thinks this is the right way to do it. It is not like that. Yagnas are defined very clearly on Vedas and the bona fide Shastras, and they are actually taught to us by our bona fide acharyas. What we will get from those yagnas, yagya, and how we will get happiness and how it is possible, right? Yagyas, why we just perform yagyas? Yagyas are performed to accumulate or to gain the gyan, so to become gyani or to gain the gyan, to get the knowledge, right? We just perform the yagyas. So Bhagwan tells in that is actually coming the next two verses. Hopefully we can discover. The Bhagwan tells in the next two verses that where and how we can get that jnana, which is important. Without jnana, we don't know what we are doing. For example, if I'm just I'm driving to let's say Radha Priya Mataji's house here, and if I don't know the direction, I may go somewhere else, and I can never be at her place. So that is jnana. If I don't know what I am doing and where I'm going, I will not go anywhere. So these yajnas are actually yajnas should be performed to actually get the jnana. And Bhagavan tells in the next two verses, if I don't have a jnana, what will happen? I'll do the mistake. As I said, I'll never reach to Mataji's house, right? So we'll do mistakes. So what are those mistakes then? Mistakes are actually not understanding the correct dharma is one mistake, and not having the right knowledge is another mistake here. And if we don't understand, if we don't have the right knowledge, and if we don't understand what is dharma, then we commit sins. And just because of this sins, or because of the attachment to our as we create those commit sins because of ajnana or not understanding the dharma, we create sins. And just because of these sins, we have more attachment. We got more attachment to the samsara, which increases material attachment, and we'll go to continuous cycle of birth and death in different yonis. Lucky that we get the human body here. Maybe we don't know. I may get a dog next life. Who knows? So pretty much here, because of not having the right knowledge, we are committing the sins. That is actually the purport is telling here. Here. we need to understand, we need to get the right knowledge from the bona fide acharyas. And then we because of committing those sins, we are more and more, getting attached in samsaras, and if we what happens is we just never get out of this cycle. What actually need to do is just the opposite of what I said, right? So we should not be actually attached to this material things and samsara and maya, and how it will be is with knowing the things and understanding the dharma. So how it will happen is uh, we have to change our this whatever the sinful actions and sinful in whatever the sinful actions we are doing, we have to change it to and change our life to a bhakti life, in a bhakti marga. In a bhakti, we have to adopt the bhaktimaya life, right? And then the very simple logic here with the I mean, this is a very simple logic with the what opposite of sinful activities is like uh, understanding the knowledge and get involving in the bhakti activities, take part in the service of lordship, try to attend the Mangal Arati, or even not just try whatever not just Mangal Arati, any service that we can just offer to the Lord. Do Vaishnav Seva. We just whole program is coming. Anything, any kind of seva we can just do. Um, uh, and then do Vaishnav Seva, do and forgive the people if we think that they have made some mistakes or things. Just try to give that. They actually cleanse our heart a lot. And if we just do punya, like these activities, the opposite of the sinful activities, it will actually even, I mean, what I mean here is these are just the sinful activities I'm talking about. Even if we do the punya activities, right, still we'll be in the attachment of the material bond. So if we do the good, karmas like punya activities, again either we'll get a better life or in the higher celestial abodes or whatever it is. But still we are within the continuous cycle of birth and death. So what Acharya just tells here is bhakti is the only way to break this cycle of death and birth and death. Now, how bhakti can happen, right? So maybe I'm not the right person. We have very senior devotees here. How bhakti happens, I should not be telling. I should be listening. But yes, how bhakti happens is Bhagwan actually tells from the very beginning of the Bhagavad Gita to the very end of the Gita. Only I mean, out of 700 verses, he is telling so many things, but this is only one. What he tells is we are the part and parcel of God. Some we have our lesson and we need to renew, or we need to understand that relation. We just forget our relationship with Lord, and we become bimukha, right? We just Lord is just maybe facing towards east, and we are facing towards west. On the in one of Srimad Bhagavatam class, Radhapriya Mataji was just telling that we don't know what age or how many kalpas it will take us to reach there, but at least we turn towards that direction. We know that is the way to go. So we should not be. I mean, we forget our relationship and become the bimukha with the God, right? And if we just if we just turn the other way, then we know our Father, who is actually a Paramatma. He is always waiting with open arms when you will come back, right? So he's just waiting. He's just calling. He's just calling means calling in a different way, giving us some knowledge through the bona fide acharyas, but we are still not listening. We just need the jnana. So coming back to the jnana here, so what we need is we need first jnana. How to turn the other side means turn towards the direction of the Lord. How we turn it. That is told in throughout the Bhagavad Gita. Even I just remember Radharam Prabhuji last time you were just giving a lecture, and I think it was the last time you was giving explaining bonanza offer, right? So this is the life we just got. Just let's grab quickly. If not, we don't know what yoni we will get next. No one knows. We can understand this knowledge and then take a the express lift maybe, all the way to city. Mataji is here. She knows, all the way to city and, all expressway and the all stopways, right? We can straight away get the lift expressway and just go to back to original home. No stops in between. So the key point here is to get jnana and then live under the shelter of bhakti within the guidance of our acharyas that is described in all in our lectures, shastras, everywhere. Just remember, I think one more verse from 4.13, right? The minimum requirement to the I should have actually stated this in the first actually. While we just go through the jnana, this jnana yoga, there is only one. Even our Lord is in our he is the pradhan father, but he also put one condition. Well, there is only one condition that we can read the Bhagavad Gita. He says that is in the actually the I think the third verse of this chapter. It says Bhakto sesmi sakha cheti. So we need to have two kind of qualities to understand this and to go through this process. Number one is bhakta and friend, bhakti and sakha. Excuse me for this. So first we need to have that just not a formality. Okay, I can read this verse and I can go through this. That is not the real reading. That is not the real jnana. The jnana is to first understand I am the servant of the Lord. I am the bhakta of the Lord, and within the different bhavas, we have Sakya bhava, we have different bhavas. So out of that one is Sakha bhava. So we are the God is our friend as well. We should not be hiding anything, or we should hide from the God. We should always face whatever we do. Even we do mistakes, we ask for the forgiveness. Even if any offense we commit, we ask for the forgiveness. He will always forgive us. Maybe we'll just move to 33. Shreyan dravyamaya gyagya jnanayagya parantapa sarvam karma khilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Can I request one Prabhuji to recite the verse?
श्रेयं द्रव्यमयाद्यज्ञा ज्ञानयज्ञात् परं तपः सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. And let's go to the synonyms here. Shreyan, greater. Dravyamaya, of material possessions. Yagnat, then the sacrifice. Jnana yagnat, sacrifice in knowledge. Param tapa, O chasters of the enemy. Sarvam, all. Karma, activities. Akhilam, in totality. Partha, O son of Partha. Jnane, in knowledge. Parisamapete, end. Translation, let's hear. O chaster of enemies, the sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice of material possessions. After all, O son of Partha, all sacrifices of purport culminate in transcendental knowledge. Purport, let's hear. Purport written by His loving divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Sri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj ki jai. The purpose of all sacrifice is to arrive at the status of complete knowledge, then to gain release from material miseries and ultimately to engage in loving transcendental service to the Supreme Lord Krishna consciousness. Nonetheless, there is a mystery about all these different activities of sacrifice, and one should know this mystery. Sacrifice sometimes take different forms according to the particular faith of the performer. When one's faith reaches the stage of transcendental knowledge, the performer of sacrifices should be considered more advanced than those who simply sacrifice material possessions. Without such knowledge, for without attainment of knowledge, sacrifice remain on the material platform and bestow no spiritual benefit. Real knowledge culminates in Krishna consciousness, the highest stage of transcendental knowledge. Without the elevation of knowledge, sacrifices are simply material activities. When, however, they are elevated to the level of transcendental knowledge, all such activities enter onto the spiritual platform, depending on differences in consciousness. Sacrificial activities are sometimes called karma kanda, fruitive activities, and sometimes jnana kanda, knowledge in the pursuit of truth. It is better than the end of knowledge. Let's see what it is very straightforward here. So the purport and the translation is clear that what is better over what. So jnana yagna is far better than the drabya yagna. We just feel like okay, mm, I just donate $10 or I just donate $20, so I'm just I'm just हाथ मैंने पाप से हाथ धो लिया. It's not kind of that. We can there are always the action and the karmic reactions. Whatever we do, whatever the yagna we do, drabya yagna, jnana yagna, any yagna, we have to actually face those karmic reactions. Without that, unless we do the bhakti, there is no way we come out of that, right? So the Lord here is straightaway telling that the Jnana Yoga is better than. There are definitely steps. Which one is better? Jnana Yoga is better than Drabya Yoga, but again, Bhakti Yoga is better than Jnana Yoga. We'll come to that later. What does this mean actually? Jnana Yoga is better than Drabya Yoga, right? So I mean, we are building a temple there. Is it better just I'm not doing a Drabya Yagna, I'm just doing a Jnana Yagna, just going there and just telling whatever I know. Maybe all I know, all nonsense only, not my right thing, but still I say that. Is that a correct thing? So what Lord says here, let's hear. Let's get the example first, right? These days, what happens is, I remember Mahabasu Prabhuji once long back said, I'll just give a gist only, not to go into the deep in a very very detail. Once he said, Prabhuji, when we are just buying things, we need to be very careful what we are buying, where we are buying, and maybe he just set a background on that on what I'm buying, but the main message was after that, and same also donating, where we are donating and what we are donating, even just a single cent, it doesn't matter. It's yatha sakti, whatever the sakti someone has, they can do it, but where and how it is going, that is very important. These days we see a lot of everywhere there are charity dinners, gala dinners, whatever the dinners, right? People just go through. So many people do donate, thinking that they will cleanse their sins without understanding the jnana, what exactly that means, right? And but it seems these all donations also ultimately pretty much these donations are all done in jnana, not jnana. Why? Sometimes what happens is they are donating to wrong people. Sometimes when it goes to in a wrong people hand, we also, the person who is actually is part of that particular donation, have to actually go through that karmic reactions as well. And sometimes it goes in the wrong circumstances, even we go to the right people. Maybe someone just donating me in a right cause, maybe thinking, okay, they are helping me, but they don't know what I'm doing in my background. That may, without knowing all this end to end, we should not be donating. If we donate, we also are the part, and uh, we have to take whatever the karmic reactions comes out of that, we should actually get that, we will get that as well. So we should actually think basically what are actually we are practicing, participating in their karma, and we should participate in their karma, and it will take a while. While we take donations, we should be very careful about that. And sometimes we see people are doing even that's a drabya yagna, right? So how we should be careful about donating, where we should donate. And sometimes we just see people are doing the katha. That is also kind of Jnana Yajna, right? So we see, there are so many, someone do Satyanarayana Katha, some do, Satyanarayana, puja, and then Sapta Nava, that we just, in 7 day we read Bhagavatam, in 9 day we read Bhagavatam. There are different ways of just doing it. But that katha, we just, we just go to that katha, and people come with, they just come there, some sleep, some actually do side talks, and more than side talks today, these days, people actually, it's actually katha are very quiet these days. No side talks, only WhatsApp talks. And, just put on the Insta or Facebook or whatever it is, whatever the mean it goes. So they have no interest in, not they means me as well. Sometimes I do, most of the time maybe. We have no interest actually on the katha, but we just get some photos just to show people that I'm on this, I'm just doing this, these kind of things. So only the speaker is speaking very quietly, nicely. Rest all are on other things. So that's another kind of Jnana Yagna. What we do is, we should, if we just go to that those places, we should be very attentive. So if I mean, we get the knowledge about the yagnas from the shastras or guru acharyas, why we are doing this, why we are actually performing these yagnas, or what is the important of those yagnas, how we have to perform these yagnas, then what we get, we will get Dibya Gyan. But if we don't listen to those kathas and whatever we go, we get only the Facebook Gyans. So what this Dibya Gyan is, that Dibya Gyan will actually help us to detachment with the samsara simply. And then detachment meaning, detachment meaning, it's just not leaving everything, right? It's just whatever we do to please the Lord, and taking all the shelter of Lord and surrendering everything to the Lord without any expectation. That is what the detachment is. Not like just, okay, aaj se main jogi ho gaya kind of thing. Not that detachment. And if we just see the last verse, this one, what we are talking about, I mean, last means the 31st verse. What we are talking about, that attachment there is, we have this attachment because of ajnana. Ajnana means the opposite of jnana, which we are not getting the right knowledge from Vedas, Shastras, and the Bodhisattva teachers, gurus, and acharyas. So when you get the right jnana, this attachment to these material things will go away, and this is the only way of liberation, right? So sometimes people say, okay, eat, drink, and may be merry, right? So, and we'll get liberation. So, this is ek bar ke, what we say, we just get life. I mean, I don't get the quote, but this is the life, we one time life we get it, we should enjoy it, right? So, but they don't know the karmic reactions, what will happen after that. So simply this is, I mean, just remember one example as well, right? For example, if I am in jail now, and to get out of the jail, what should I do? If I really want to get out quickly, I should do very good things there, so that someone will give me a kind of reference to the president, and I'll get I'll get out quickly. If I'm just doing normal things, I'll get to my tenure. But at the same time, if I do some offenses over there, do you think I'll come out of the jail? No. Again, after I finish the tenure, I'll have another tenure, right? So I'll keep on same, like our tenure will, if we don't do the right things here, we will be on this jail continuous in a continuous loop. So what we do here is we went to guru, then did some yagnas and do get Dibya Gyan, and just just what is this Gyan is Krishna Bhakti, which I mean, we just, what means that means that we lose this Dibya Gyana, we actually lose somewhere in the sake of material enjoyment and the sense gratification, right? So I think I'm just halfway only, looks like, but still I have to stop here. Maybe I know today devotees are going for some other, I think the Narsimha Avatar movie as well. So I will not hold much here, and we have our Narsimha Dev prayers here. So I'll just stop here. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo. Hare Krishna. Please forgive me if I have committed any offenses. Maybe can I just request Bhakti Kavya to sing the Narsimha prayers? Yeah, you can.
नामस्ते नरसिंहाय प्रह्लादलाददायिने हिरण्यकशिपुर्वक्षः शिलातङ्कालकालाये इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा बहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहबधिं शरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलवरे नाखाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गार ललिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल विघ्न विनाशक श्री नरसिंहदेव भगवान की
जय
जय
भक्ति शिरोमणि श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की
जय
जय
His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada की
जय
जय His Grace केशव प्रभु जी की जय. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for your wonderful class. And yes, we'll meet again. Thank you very much. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Very nice class. Hare Krishna.
Radha Mataji, all everyone's blessings. I don't know how was the
वो
class.
देख लेना कि वो दोनों
हरि बोल.
आप सारे
Hare Krishna.
Very good.